This week you were working on an organization called Shivat Zion. This is something that you've been, doing in Parliament this week, and you specifically asked a question to the Minister of State. Why did you ask that question, and can you give us a bit of context behind this organization?
The reason I asked the question is simple. We have seen the annihilation of the people of Palestine for close to 3 years now in this recent conflict. Close to 100,000 people in Gaza have been killed, over 20,000 of children, and every infrastructure has been broken. But what many people may be not aware of is that this is the people of the West Bank, the Palestinians in West Bank, are having their land stolen and their children also being killed on virtually a daily basis. Now, it is international law that no land can be stolen from the West Bank by the Israelis, despite the fact that they have been doing so ever since the 1940s. What's been happening is one of the things that the ministers always say to anybody that asks the questions on the situation between Israel and Palestine is that we are doing everything that we can in order to ensure that international law is upheld, that in order to ensure we are doing everything that we can, that peace and justice can prevail. Recently, we in fact even recognized the state of Palestine as a nation. Yet, despite this, land is being stolen on a daily basis. And if that wasn't bad enough, a charity is selling land to British citizens to purchase in the West Bank. In this country, charities are advocating for and promoting the selling of land in the West Bank. We have a duty to uphold international law. In fact, we were the architects of constructing this international law after the horrors of World War II, saying never again. Yet despite this, and despite the fact that every minister from the Labour Party and the Tory Party are saying that they are doing everything that they can to protect and uphold international law and ensure peace and justice prevails in the Middle East. Yet despite this, it is shocking to learn and shocking to know that a charity is selling Palestinian land and encouraging the illegal purchase of Palestinian land in the UK. They're not only selling it, they're also claiming gift aid for it, which is then inadvertently costing the taxpayer money. And that was the question that I raised to the Secretary of State, that what was she going to do about it? And was she going to make sure that this was looked into?
What does it mean for, as a taxpayer watching this video, for a charity to use gift aid for their purposes?
Simply, it means that your money is being used to commit a war crime. Simply, it means that your money is being used to violate international law. It simply means that a child in Palestine is going to go to sleep tonight without a roof over his head.
So you raised this in Parliament to the Minister, the Foreign Secretary. What did she actually respond to you, and what was the question you asked?
I asked quite clearly that despite all the horrors committed by the State of Israel, we as a country has a responsibility to uphold international law. And I gave her a clear example of a charity that was practicing in this country of doing illegal acts, and would she look into that specific matter, and what was her message to everybody else that was doing the similar thing. Her response was absolutely bland. She did not respond to my question at all. She did not say that she would look into this specific case, gave a very broad brush answer, and again goes back to the fundamental core issue that I have repeatedly said, that the government tells us they're doing everything that they can, where they simply and categorically are not.
The Foreign Secretary mentioned that no one should break international law, and that was something that she constantly said throughout, and it was a big theme in the chamber that day. How did it make you feel that she was constantly saying this and nothing more than that? And of course, you asked a similar question to Keir Starmer on South Lebanon. You explicitly asked him not to say that it's wrong.
It's all good and well for the Prime Minister to say it's wrong. Can I ask what he's going to actually tangibly do to stop Israel's war machine in its tracks this time, and do what he failed to do during the genocide in Gaza, and say no to Israel and say no to Benjamin Netanyahu?
The attacks are wrong, and it's important that we are clear on that. Lebanon should be included in the ceasefire, and we're clear on that. We need to work with our allies to follow through on both of those propositions.
Well, it's just absolutely wrong and frustrating. It's been the course for the last 3 years. Just words, some strong words, a little bit of rhetoric, but absolutely zero tangible actions. And until we do not do anything, blood will be spilled of innocent men, women, and children. And that is what we're seeing. We're seeing it spread out now. It's gone to Lebanon, killing of innocent journalists, killing of innocent children, men, women of all ages, simply because we are not standing up and categorically doing something about this. Just a few strong words, but absolutely no action, giving Israel complete impunity to do what it wants to.
You mentioned that this is spreading. It's not just happening in Gaza, it's not happening in the West Bank, it's spread to South Lebanon. But me in England, I work, I live. Why should I care about this? Is this going to pay my bill somehow?
You know what it is? We've soon realize that conflict in the Middle East doesn't stay in the Middle East. It will affect us directly or indirectly in this country. It's already affected us in the cost of living crisis. It's already affected us with fuel bills going up. It's already affected us with energy bills going up. It's already affecting us by making us all feel a lot unsafer. So we have to ensure that wherever it is, wherever injustice is taking place, we step in and do what we can. We must be not part of it simply because it's the right thing to do. We're upholding international law. But secondly, it will come and affect us, and we must play no part in it.
You've also been doing a lot of work on the crime and policing bill. This is something that many constituents have emailed your office about. What do you think this has does this have a connection to the Palestinian ongoings and the war that's happening currently?
It's unparalleled, and it's not. It's difficult to articulate. But whilst Palestinians are having their lives taken away from them, from every facet, whilst they're losing their children, whilst they're losing their parents, while they're losing their siblings, here in this country, we are losing our civil liberties at the same time. People who are standing up and exercising their democratic right to demonstrate, to vote for, to boycott, are being vilified and proscribed in this country. And therefore, whilst lives are being taken over there, our civil liberties are being eroded here. So it has a huge part to play, because today it's them, tomorrow it could be us, about another issue. So if we do not stand up for the rights today, tomorrow somebody will take our rights away and there'll be nobody to stand on our behalf.
Are you saying then that the government will go beyond protesting? Is this something that we should be explicitly worried about?
It's unbelievable that in a Labour government, has proscribed an organization like Pal Action. Now, it is now illegal to be part of Pal Action or even to support Pal Action. Did it commit criminal activities? I suspect that it did so. Did it commit terrorism activities? That is a whole different ballgame. And the fact that an organization of that nature, who is standing up against the genocide is proscribed, is just the beginning of what could happen in the future. So to answer your question, yes.
One thing about Parliament is that many people ask questions, many things are talked about, but not much is done. What do you advise the average citizen, the UK citizen, to do?
What it is, unfortunately, everything takes time. And that is what needs to be done. Consistency with persistence, and it will change. So therefore, do not be disheartened that all these protesting, all these letters hasn't had the acute change that we all wanted. But in the long run, it will make a difference. So you continue writing to your MPs, you continue advocating for what we believe in, continue protesting in a legal manner, continue boycotting in a legal manner, and hold your elected representatives to account. Once you hold elected representatives to account, make it known to them that they will not be voted in at the next time. That will make the change. And that change sometimes is painfully slow, but it will ensure that we get the results next time and we're not sitting in the middle of a genocide and, in my opinion, complicit as a nation in a genocide in the future. There are certain differences. The cessation of some arms sale, the recognition of the Palestinian state, the treating of some children with injuries or illnesses, etc. Those are very, very small wins. And when we compare it to this conflict in Ukraine, it's incomparable. So yeah, the wins have been very low and very small, but it's something, and just tells us the scale of the challenge that we have.
Do you think that there has been a parity between Ukraine and Palestine?
Absolutely not. In every field and every aspect of it. We haven't given the people of Palestine the generosity that we have afforded to the people of Ukraine. Rightfully so. Hundreds of thousands have come to this country on a special visa scheme from Ukraine. A handful have come from the West Bank. People are settling in this country, given opportunities for education. the amount of financial support, the amount of cultural support, the amount of military support, it's incomparable. The state of Israel has, Russia was sanctioned more or less immediately. They've been made a cultural pariah, whereas Israel continues to behave, is given the same support as before, whether it's partaking in the Eurovision Song Contest, or whether they're allowed to partake in world football. Nothing seems to have changed. They can continue with impunity to kill children like they did yesterday, and nothing seems to happen to them.
So bearing in mind that you asked the question to Yvette Cooper, the Foreign Secretary, the Foreign Office has only recently decided to shut down an international database that tracked incidents in the Middle East, specifically to do with Palestine and Israel. Can you give us an explanation on that?
Well, again, for me, that's another nail in the Labour Party's coffin on standing up for human rights and international law. If they had even an iota of empathy and sympathy or a sense of justice, that would have been one unit they would not have shut. It seems that almost any avenue to accountability between Britain and specifically between Britain and Israel is being shut down. Questions are not answered. Units are being shut down. Freedom of information are not being accessed to what our planes are doing in terms of intelligence gathering in the region. Every single avenue is being shut down. And this is just a final example of that. So what we need is accountability. All crimes, all war crimes need accountability. And in order to have accountability, one needs evidence. So this shutting down means there will be no evidence to hold the Israeli state accountable. And we will not be a part of holding the Israeli state accountable. So we haven't been there to curtail their terrors. We haven't been there to reach out and support the Palestinian people in terms of aid or in terms of access to. Now we are completely abandoning them by not even being part of the process to give the people of Palestine justice by any of the data that we've collated to give evidence in international courts.